Hey there, we are here at Knott's to talk some Scary Farm strategy. Behind me you can see Pumpkin Eater is being built as we speak, all sorts of haunt build going on. But we're going to talk a little bit about the Halloween season Scary Farm to give people some ideas on strategy. Every year that Scary Farm's open, obviously omitting 2020, but in general, we come out 5, 6, 7 times with different groups of friends to experience the event. And so we can give you some background on that. I mean, we cover it for media night, but this is not going to be a media night tour. This is going to be, we're coming with friends trying to get in as much as we can with our one night at Scary Farm. So with that being said, first up foremost, picking a day is a huge part of the decision making for us. We try no matter what, even though it's really difficult on those work mornings, and most of us in our group have early work mornings, but we do try to do the Thursday night if possible. That way it's just one more day on our normal Monday through Friday type shifts, but Sundays also can work pretty well. Fridays and Saturdays are really rough. That said, we've done it before, and so all the strategies that we go through, I mean, we use pretty much a copy and paste method of like, this is the order we do things in, but definitely highly suggest those off days, no big surprise there. Also, obviously, if you can get Fright Lane, that is fantastic, but it is definitely not a necessity. Like so many things, when you can get the Fright Lane, it is awesome. I mean, being able to cut those lines helps immensely, and if you could do that, that makes the whole night a whole lot easier, and you're not having to rush around. But again, we're going to try and approach it from the idea that people maybe don't have the money to do that. So this is going to be mostly about, we don't have money for the front of the line. We're going to try to get a group through as many things as possible, and that's kind of the approach we'll take. And you can kind of take it and customize it to fit what's easiest or best for you. So with that said, one thing we do highly suggest always, and we do it with pretty much every group that we bring out here, is we do the pre-scare dinner or the buffet. It is a $45 price. We always pick the earliest time. The earliest time gets us the most time in there with the monsters getting ready. We want to be out of there well before the rope drop occurs for the pre-scare time, because you get that extra half-hour bonus. And we'll talk a little bit more about that, but let's go take a look at where we can check in for pre-scare first off. All right, so for that pre-scare dinner, the buffet, unless you're doing the hotel, you'll be checking in right here, and this is where you will be entering the park right over there for that early access. We do like the hotel buffet. It is a little bit different food. In our experience, less variety and a little bit less monsters. One big thing here, though, you can check in here. They have seating inside Mrs. Knott's Chicken Dinner Restaurant. We're at the back here. And then they have seating inside Spurs, which we'll head into the park in a moment there. Highly suggest heading to Spurs. That way you're already through security. You've taken care. You don't have to worry about any lines for the metal detectors, any of that type of stuff. You're able to just enjoy your full-time eating. Plus, there's just something about being inside actual Knott's, the park, and being ready for Scary Farm and in that mode versus being out here and then having to finish your food and head on inside the gates. Either way, you'll check in here, you'll get your pre-scare dinner, drink refillable cups, so you'll be able to get free refills throughout the night. You'll head on in there. There'll probably be a photo op there with a monster or two in and under. They've also used this entrance over there at times before, so who knows, this year it'll be one of those two spots there. But either way, you'll be able to be inside the park well before the time that the monsters are fully coming out and Ghost Town erupts. With that being said, we like to do pre-scare dinner the earliest possible time the group can get there, because it's just, we're getting more time in Scary Farm mode. So if they have a 4:30 slot, that's what we're doing, the earliest possible. Just gives you that much more time and gets you the best seating and all of those things. All right, so normally pre-scare then will bring you in right over there at Ghost Rider. You'll make your way in over to Spurs, be assigned a seat, and then you're set. You got your drinks, you got your food. If you're curious to see more about the pre-scare dinner, the buffet, you can check our YouTube channel, our playlist for 2019 Knott's Scary Farm. That was the last version of it, and it is complete with all sorts of pictures, or I should say video of the monsters and of the food. Once you finish up here, so a half hour before park opening, you will have the ability to head on over to these 4 mazes down this way. So if you want to ride Ghost Rider, that should be offered during that time as well. Our whole strategy, I guess it's a good time to say that. I probably should have said that at the top, like there's no rides involved in it really, unless they're attraction based, because we're really trying to focus in on just doing the Scary Farm specific stuff. So if you want to add in those rides, you may want to change up some of the things we are offering there. But we head over here about 15 minutes before the other kind of rope drop. Not that there's an actual drop, but these gates opening. Once those gates open, we make our way straight in. Now, one kind of tough thing over there, and we experienced it more in 2019, I think, than any other year, is a lot of this is based on the mazes being ready to go. And we had a few experiences where Waxworks wasn't ready, where Paranormal Inc. wasn't ready. But our normal try would be to just kind of launch through here, hit Waxworks, hit depths. Hit Paranormal Inc., hit Dark Entities, and then make our way out. Dark Entities had the least of a line in 2019, so that would be the one that we would leave to the very end in case we run out of time and don't have it. Have the ability to make it in there. Either way, we want to be back over here ready for rope drop right at the opening minute, because that's when everybody that didn't have the pre-scare advantage is going to be heading in. A lot of them are going to make the left mazes over here, but also a lot of them are going to head straight up through Ghost Town. So let's head over to that opening moment. All right, so we head into Origins to the goal here. We're going to hit Origins up, and at this point, then hopefully we've hit 4 or 5 mazes by this point. The 4 in the Ghost Rider area, and then Origins.
Your gadgets, sir. Give up your Central City ways. You want to find back your way back to the earth, the salt of the earth. And you have a dirty mind, sir. When you really want is dirty hands from working.
You fools! I curse this miserable town into eternal damnation! Your precious calico shall decay and lie in ruin as a desolate ghost town! Every arm of the dead shall...
All right, so we're going to make our way straight over here. If there's any Halloween touches to Calico Mine Ride, that's when we're going to hit that, although that remains to be seen. We'll definitely have a Halloween overlay here for the log ride. That would be next as well. So as we said, the only attractions in terms of rides that we do is ones that are specifically spiced up for the Scary Farm season. So that's what we would hit there. Shows we're going to be taking at the end of the night. Now, we were right over by the Mystery Lodge section there where the new show is going to be, but as of this recording, not really knowing everything about that, trying to make this type of strategy video, we're saying, well, we're going to skip that for now, come back to it later in the evening. Now, it may be the biggest thing and the longest lines of the season, and then we redo that, and we will be coming out here bringing friends several times, and we'll do an update video on YouTube if needed, or we'll be posting on social media in real time because we test all this out multiple times. But otherwise, we're hitting Log Ride next. And then we are making our way to Dark Ride and then back to Accelerator for Mesmer. All right, Dark Ride is one of our all-time favorite mazes. That's going to be a must. And even though it's a returner and it's been here for a few years, we anticipate it getting super busy. And Mesmer, although it's the brand new maze, really only the people that watch strategy videos like this know that and are going to rush to the back. And so we're not going to worry about it too much. When Shadowlands was brand new, we had that same kind of debate of like, should we prioritize it and go do that one first? And even with these show moments that would kind of stall things up at the front, we found that in general, when we were bringing friends out here, you know, not on media night, not with, you know, front line or anything, we were still fine to wait for Shadowlands after doing these other parts of the journey. So we're gonna use that strategy to start out when we start bringing people out for this Scary Farm season, and keeping Mesmer till much deeper in the night, which, all things said, this ends up only being around maybe 8 o'clock at night. It's not too deep into the night for our strategy, because basically everybody's filling in behind us and doing everything after we've left for the most part. All right, Mesmer is still being worked on. Excited to go inside and see all that it has to share. But let's move on with our guide. So if Mesmer operates the same as Shadowlands, which we imagine it would, you'll be exiting this way and making our way right over here to Fiesta, which then we're gonna cut quickly through. Again, we know there's some scare zone stuff, some dance party, things like that, but our thought right now, not knowing all the specifics, is we're basically cutting through here. There's not a maze. We're gonna make our way through the hollows and ultimately to Pumpkin Eater. All right, and at this point, we've made our way all the way to the front for the 8th and final maze, Pumpkin Eater, which this should be the queue area, should feed you in there as in a normal year. And then that would finish up our mad dash for the mazes. All right, at this point of the night then, we have made our way back to the front of the park, and this is really where we're gonna get some rest, seeing some shows, checking out scare zones, hanging out that way. You know, if we have friends that really are into the rides, that's where they may break off and do some of those things. Not as much for us, but you know, they'll do that. We would love hanging out in the scare zones at this point of the night. Maybe doing a double dip of the mazes in that last hour before close if we end up staying that late on that night. It just all depends there. But you know, again, this is a mad dash type of strategy. It's definitely not for everybody. The people we go with seem to really enjoy it, and then they don't have to pay for the front of the line, but it is a very hurried way to do it, so your mileage may vary with all of that. That said, we hope the video helped a little bit to give you an idea of what to expect from Scary Farm, a little bit of the strategy we'll be using. As I said, we'll be posting on social media how our strategy goes, not on media night, because we'll have front of the line for everything that night on opening night, but we'll be back very soon after with some co-workers, and we'll be posting there if the strategies don't work. And hey, if they go really bad, we'll definitely be doing a new video. Excited to see the new shows, the new maze. Honestly, just excited to be back in the fog. So we will see you in the fog. Like, subscribe, let people know that we're out there and putting up all sorts of Scary Farm videos as well as other Halloween videos. So until next time, we'll see you in line somewhere.